Welcome to Minced. It's the high school version of the hit show Chopped on the Food Network. We are on to the entree round where the 3 remaining chefs will flex their culinary muscles to impress the judges. Chefs, open your baskets and in there you will find venison loin, pistachio, black garlic, Stilton cheese, and root beer. Chefs, you have 20 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now.
How about that for a mystery basket?
All right.
Good.
Root beer. Oh gosh, I love root beer so much. And I think it gave it a really good flavor.
And cooking's all about a mystery sometimes. So I just went with something unusual. It's a locally brewed root beer. So I thought that we'll see what they can do with it. There's several different angles.
So I saw root beer and everything, and I thought it was an interesting, but it was a pretty good flavor to have for venison, which I've never cooked before. But it's just like beef in that matter, where you can cook it a little bit under, and you can make it medium rare and everything. So I basted it along with the blackened garlic, which has a deeper, stronger flavor than regular garlic because it's aged.
I marinated it in the root beer with some black garlic. Then I seared it in a pan.
Oh, I love the sizzle. That's a lot of sizzle.
Threw some herbs in there for a little kick, and then topped it off with some cheese and some pistachios just to make sure that everything was on there.
I decided to do a marinade with soy sauce, vinegar, some oil. The black garlic was in there, the pistachios were in there, and the root beer was in there.
This round was a little easier because I kind of knew everything that was in the basket. Like I knew what root beer was, obviously, and I knew what venison was, and everything was super easy to work with, so I'm pretty confident in this round, actually.
If I had about 5 to 10 more minutes, I would have been able to let the meat rest and let the juices incorporate into it so it wouldn't be as runny like it was, and it'd be a lot better, a lot more tender.
And my starch was supposed to be couscous, but it's sitting on the stove currently, and my carrots were my vegetable, which are also sitting on the stove. So I really didn't get a lot on my plate, which is very, very, very upsetting.
A lot of pressure. Just like
30
you're feeling it right
seconds.
now.
Get some.
15 seconds left. Close here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up, chefs.
I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. Did good.
Thank you, chefs. Chef Noah, can you please tell the judges about your entree?
Yes, so I initially saw the root beer and everything, and I thought that was a very good opportunity to baste it. So what I did is I mixed the garlic. The roasted garlic has a deeper flavor than regular garlic, a lot more pungent and strong. So I put that in a pan and let that simmer for a minute. I also threw in a couple sprigs of rosemary so it could incorporate that flavor along with pistachios. So I basted that for a few minutes, let the flavor incorporate into that. Then I tried finishing off in the oven as best as I could. And then I got some lettuce, it's wilted. I made a sauce. I thickened some of the root beer along with some garlic and also the pistachios so it could maybe incorporate a nuttier flavor into the sauce, and then I put that over and then topped it with the cheese.
Judge Aaron, can you give us your thoughts on this dish?
It's really nice flavor. I noticed the sweetness of the dish. It's composed well. It's nice. It's interesting you use lettuce. It's kind of different, but it works. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Chef Tabitha, can you give us your thoughts?
I thought it was good. I also taste the root beer is really dominant in this. But all of the ingredients you can see have been included in this dish.
Chef Peter, what do you think about this dish?
I think it's got a nice flavor profile. Definitely can tell there's root beer in there. You know me, I'm a sucker for salad. I like lettuce in there. Something different. I think it's got a nice flavor.
Chef Brooke, can you tell us about your entree?
So I saw the root beer and I immediately thought, hey, I could marinate the meat in the root beer. So I marinated it in the root beer. I added some black garlic to the marinade, and I cooked the meat with the black garlic, some thyme, and some rosemary, and I topped it with the cheese and a little pistachio crumble.
Chef Aaron, can you give us your thoughts on the dish?
I taste all the flavors. It's really nice flavor. It's got a nice sear to it. Looks very rustic. I enjoyed it.
Chef Tabitha, can we have your thoughts?
I really did enjoy the depth of flavors that they've layered. She layered it on the venison. I thought it was good.
And Chef Peter, what are your thoughts on this dish?
It's got a nice flavor profile. I like the pistachio on there. Gives it a little bit of a different texture. I'm a big texture person. I like different textures in my food, so I think it's well put together.
Chef Cheyenne, can you tell us about your entree?
So, I've never really cooked venison. My family uses it, but I've never really cooked it. I did a marinade with soy sauce, vinegar, oil, the garlic, the pistachios, and the root beer I added into it to just give it a little bit of a sweetness. And I seared it and cooked it as much as I could on the stove. And then I'll put it in the oven.
Chef Aaron, can you give us your thoughts?
It's seared nice. A little light on flavor. I don't see the gorgonzola on there. Really, I'm just seeing not that much. It's cooked well though. Thank you.
Chef Tabitha, can you tell us what you think about this dish?
I do like the soy sauce in there, but I can see that obviously there might have been a little bit of a time issue on this one.
Okay. And lastly, Chef Peter, can you tell us your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a nice sear on the meat. It's got a nice flavor, good balance to it. So what was your prime objective for this plate?
It was to get a starch and a vegetable on there and make it look really nice, but I ended up running out of time. My starch and vegetable are sitting on the stove. I did not get it on there all the way.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It was very upsetting.
You know, that's all part of the game, but I mean, your flavor profile on the meat's nice. I mean, I just think it has a good balance as far as that goes, so
Thank
should be
you.
at least happy at that point.
Thank you, chefs. Give our judges a minute and we will find out who will be fighting in the dessert round.
Did the judges like what you made?
They said it was okay. Just I couldn't get the cheese on, and I couldn't get my rice, or I couldn't get my couscous or my vegetable.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be undercooked, but they didn't say anything about it, so they must like rare meat, which I was hoping.
They seem to like his dish, but I personally wouldn't eat it because of how raw it is. But they seem to be fine, so I guess he is the biggest competitor.
I'd say Cheyenne because she's very good with making meats very flavorful and very good at making everything taste good, no matter what the ingredients are.
I obviously did not get everything on the plate, so it's discouraging.
Do you think you will win this round?
Yes.
How would you feel if you are one of the two chefs in the final round?
I would be so happy to even have gotten that far. Like, that would be amazing.
Welcome back, chefs. It was a challenging entree round. In it, you had to use venison loin, pistachios, black garlic, Stilton cheese, and root beer. So, before we find out who will be minced, Chef Julian has something to say.
All right, guys, let me tell you something. All of you should have been minced. You didn't meet the criteria on the entree plate. What is the criteria of an entree plate?
Starch, vegetable, and meat.
Protein, vegetable, and starch. So keep that in mind moving forward, okay?
So, let's see who has been minced. Chef Cheyenne, you have been minced.
Crazy.
You know what? But like I said, you did a great job. 20 minutes is not a lot of time, but you need to meet all the criteria points, all three of you, okay? So just keep that in mind moving forward when we start competing. All right? Nice job.
Thank you, Chef Cheyenne.
I failed. I didn't put on the cheese, and I didn't have enough time. I feel like I stressed too much in the beginning for it to actually work out, so I lost.
Thank you, chefs.
Next week on Minced, the final contestants take on the dessert round.
I expected to make it to at least the last round, and I knew I was going to do well because I'm very creative and I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to like just having stuff put in front of me. I know what to do with it.
But I bake a lot, so I kind of already have a little bit of an advantage.
Tune in next week for the finale.
So, let's see who has been minced.